Dismantling and assembling in a DC shunt motor.
Dismantling and Assembling of DC Shunt Motor. Hello and welcome to this session where we will be conducting the dismantling and assembly of DC Shunt Motor. Let us now learn about, read and interpret the nameplate details of a DC Shunt Motor. Conduct visual inspection of the power machine. Dismantle the DC shunt motor. Remove, inspect and install the bearings. Clean the part of DC shunt motor. Reassemble the DC shunt motor. Adjust the brush tension, bedding of brushes and correct the rocker arm position. Check the performance of DC shunt motor. So, let us begin.
Identifying the terminals.
Armature input. Armature output. Field input. Field output.
In this task we will dismantle the DC shunt motor.
First, we will start the process of dismantling the motor by switching off the main switch and disconnecting the DC machine from the supply. Now, we will conduct a visual inspection and clean the outside surface of the motor. Remove all dirt and grease with a dry cloth. Do not use water. Now, we have to make punch marks on both the end plate and yoke, and then mark the rocker arm position with respect to the end plate. Finally, we unscrew the bolts for the end plate. Now, we have to remove the brushes from the brush holder. We also check the brush's depreciation. Now, we remove the pulley. If it's tight, we use the pulley puller to remove it. Now, we have to remove the grease cup stud and open the grease cup using a screwdriver. We have to loosen the studs on front end plates and then remove the end plate on the shaft side. Now, we have to remove the armature from the body of the machine. After that, we have to remove the bearings using a bearing puller. Now, all the parts of the DC motor are as shown in the video. Now, we are going to learn the functionality of each and every part of the DC shunt motor. 1. Stator. The stator is a stationary unit that houses the field windings. 2. Rotor. The dynamic part of a DC motor is the rotor that creates the mechanical rotations of the unit. 3. Yoke. The yoke is a magnetic frame made of cast iron that works as a protector. It contains magnetic poles and field winding. 4. Poles. The yoke has magnetic poles that fit into the inner wall with the help of screws. 2 parts, the pole core and the pole shoe. 5. Field windings. They are made up of copper wire and circle around the slots carried by the pole shoes. 6. Armature windings. They are attached to the rotor and alters the magnetic field in the path that it takes as it rotates. 7. DC motor commutator. The commutator is a split ring made up of copper segment. 8. Brushes. Brushes work as a bridge to connect the static electrical circuit to the rotor with the commutator. Now, we are going to reassemble the yoke, armature and end plates. Now, we must manually rotate the shaft to check for shaft freedom. If found tight, loosen the end plate studs and tighten the crosswise studs gradually in the proper sequence and at the same time feel the shaft for free rotation. Now, we have to insert the brush in the holder, adjust the brush tension and bed the brushes. Finally, after reassembling all the parts, we must connect the plug to the power supply and test its operation. Recap. So, after watching this video, we are now aware of the functionality of the DC shunt motor, its parts, and how to dismantle and assemble it.